Presently, in order to pay for the computers I write on, or in, I suppose, I haul fuel for United Farmers of Alberta, or actually the agent, the local agent for UFA. And whatever else needs to be done, sing a song. I still sing a song now and then. Not as much as we used to, but we still do now and then. I'm not the songwriter that Karen is, but I do have two or three that I perform now and then.
I've seen the sun at midnight, I've seen the jungle rain, I've seen the white-capped ocean and the Alberta plain.
Started writing, well, actually I got an A+ once in English, probably the only A+ I ever got in high school in Fort St. John, after writing a poem. Or for writing a poem. And well, The Wind Blows was the title of it. We have a lot of subject matter for that sort of thing in the Peace Country. When Karen and I were playing on the road back in the late 80s, she suggested that I write some of my stories down, so I started doing that. And wrote actually I had stuff appear in at that time it was called the Peace River Block Daily News, and the Alaska Highway News, and Western People, and got into it fairly heavy in '92 when the anniversary for the building of the Alaska Highway was going on. Wrote several articles about that, and that was the sort of when I began writing. But I've always been, what's the word, dissatisfied with the way Canada and the building of Canada is presented. We take it in school and it's awful dry, and he turned and looked southeast. Although he had been in this wide open land for more than a month, he still was not used to the vastness. Distance seemed to contract, and what appeared to be 100 yards would prove to be 500. The climb was much steeper and longer than he had anticipated, but he finally approached the top of the hill. Before he crested the ridge, however, he heard a murmur of what he thought might be human voices. His mount stopped when he dropped the reins. He stepped back beside the animal and drew a Colt revolving shotgun from the scabbard that hung down from the cantle. Holding the scattergun at the ready, he continued up the slope, cautiously scanning the country as he moved forward. I try to put history in just about everything that I have in a novel is fiction. However, I try to put history in each one of them, and part of the reason for that is to demonstrate that there's more than just the history taking place, or the history that is recorded is what I mean. Excuse me. There's a whole bunch of side stuff that nobody records. In one of my novels, there's a situation where mounted police superintendent is trying to lay down the law, and my main protagonist says he thinks he runs the country, but actually all he's doing is keeping the records. And to me, it's the people that weren't recorded that were actually running the country. The guys that were chasing cows and building fence and making hay, they were the guys that ran the country. But we don't see them in the history books. You know. So that's why I write the history. I've looked around for other people that do the same thing, and I've only found one. He's an excellent writer. He puts a lot more history in than I do. His name's Bill Gallagher. He was at Demet performing there. He also sings. His performances are much more folk than mine. Mine's more country. but he's an excellent songwriter and singer, and he writes a very good story. I've looked around for other guys that write fiction with history in it, and really haven't found any. And so that's what I do.